of them former coaches at Temple. All right, Temple will get the football. And we are underway. That one booted through the back of the end zone. We take a look at our impact players, brought to you by Old Spice.
So starting off, J.D. Ducker is our running back here. He is the absolute bell cow for this team. You got JoJo Bermudez, who's super dynamic. They're dynamic receiver. He also returns punts sometimes. And then you have on defense with Georgia Tech, Omar Daniels had a pick, and he can flip the momentum anytime. And you have E.J. Lightsky. He is just a current leader tackler. He will be all over the field today.
Yeah, Daniels, he had 7 tackles, that interception, and a forced fumble in the win over Clemson last week. Ducker in the backfield. He's on his 4th school. Play action and underthrown. He had an open receiver.
So you saw Temple start off with FIB formation into the boundary. They put 3 receivers in 4, and then they ran seams. Usually that's a running situation, but I love how they came out there instantly trying them downfield.
Well, that's a completion that Simon normally hits. He completes nearly 68% of his passes on the season. See both teams use extra tight ends, try to run the ball. This is Ducker, and he is gobbled up right at the line of scrimmage. We'll be calling the name Kyle Eford a lot today.
Yeah, Eford, he's a sure tackler all over the place. He's 13 All-ACC. He should be dynamic for this defense.
First third down. 3rd down and 8. They need to get up to the 35-yard line. And the receiver caught it, but came down out of bounds, so it'll be 3 and out. Pretty nice catch right there by the sure-handed Colin Chase.
Yeah, great job going up and getting this. This is a dangerous throw in cover 2, but he goes up and gets that football. Just couldn't get that foot in bounds for the first down.
Toby and Powell Lee in coverage there. And so here's a punter we were talking about, Dante Atten. He's from Melbourne, Australia. Now you look at that average.
Don't be fooled.
We were told, don't be fooled. 16 punts, 5 of them inside the opponent's 20. And this is a line drive punt that'll continue to roll, and this is exactly what Brent Key was talking about yesterday. You'll get 15, 20 yards out of a roll. It's down to the 29-yard line. 44-yard punt. All right, we flip it to the other side. Our impact players brought to you by Old Spice.
Yeah, so for impact players here, you have on offense Jamal Haynes. He's a versatile back who's effective in the run and receiving game. And let me tell you about Isaiah Kenyon. I stood next to him on the field. I swear this man had to be 6'5", 240. He has an NFL body. And on defense for Temple, Avery Powell. He's the team's top leading tackler. Physical presence who will be trying to do everything to limit the ground attack. And then Cameron Stewart, man, he's the guy they're going to be watching all over the field. He's such an impact player.
Yeah, Stewart leads the American Athletic Conference in tackles for loss the early part of this season, 3 weeks into the year. And here's King. He's going to lay it off out of the backfield, and a big hit for Jamal Haynes, and just tripped up inside the 40. That's the thing about Haynes. He's a great runner, but he's a very dynamic receiver out of the backfield.
As I mentioned, very, very versatile. First play of the game, let's get it out to him in space. And as you see, he puts on the jets and gets upfield.
34 yards on the pickup. They play fake, and here's King. And he stumbles inside the 35, maybe to the 33. In that win last week, King just willed his team to a victory. Hit on 20 of 28 for 211 in the air. He carried it a career high 25 times for over 100 yards. And there you saw right there, he is the only player in the country averaging 125 passing yards and 125 rushing yards per game. In the hands of Haynes, and he's tripped up inside the 20. It'll be another first down for the Yellow Jackets.
Listen, you got to watch out for that dangerous turf monster. That will get you every single time. That turf monster's undefeated.
Ever get you?
Oh, plenty of times. It's undefeated. I'll tell you that. But there again, saw him in the pass game. You saw Haynes now in the run game. But going back to Haynes King, absolutely. 125 in the air, 125 on the ground. When I said dual threat, that is exactly what we mean by dual threat.
Yeah, a lot of people get wrapped up in some of the stats. He hadn't thrown a touchdown pass. This is Haynes again. And that was defended well by the Owls. Bring up second down and long. Sultan Badmus there on the stop. Haynes has had just a great career at Georgia Tech. Closing in on 2,200 career rushing yards. He's over that now with a carry today. And he will move into the top 10 with another 160 rushing yards all time for the Yellow Jackets. Early spotted, favorable spot at the 17-yard line, and here's a quarterback to the end zone untouched. Haynes King, his 5th rushing touchdown of the season.
Right on cue, Tom. We gave y'all a little moment of silence just so you can see the magic that he's going to do here. But great job by Haynes King holding that read option, keeping the ball, and getting in for the touchdown.
17-yard touchdown run for King. And now the point after from the hero last week. Hit that 55-yarder at the buzzer. Hayden Burr for the point after. Good snap, good hold, and good thread, right?
Yeah, and I coached with somebody he worked with in Bill O'Brien.
Yeah.
And the one thing that stood out to me talking to Coach Key is he truly loves his job. And he truly loves his players. Like it.
36. All right, first down. And the keeper by the quarterback, Simon. That's a nice pickup out across the 30. That'll be a gain of 6, maybe close to 7. He's not known to run the ball much, but he is a good athlete. When he was growing up in Pennsylvania, Mount Joy, Pennsylvania, he was the Pennsylvania Mr. High School football. But because of his size, you know, a lot of people thought, well, maybe the big boys didn't want him. He wound up going to Rutgers. He was there for 3 years, but transferred to Temple and has done very well. Going to throw it this time. And the catch is made, and that'll be good enough for a first down. Bermudez, that's a guy to keep an eye on today. It looked like it was tipped.
Yeah, they do a good job of getting their hands up quick, and JoJo Bermudez does a great job finding the football and getting that down. I thought, hopefully, man, that was not going to be interception. But right now, you see Temple's offense trying to get some early success. Like the last drive did not go so well for them. So right now, you saw a quarterback run and already going into the empty formation, trying to get quick game.
Heard Wes Bryant talk about Torres Worthy. He has checked into the backfield. Playing at the junior college level last year and just had a monster year. Quarterback hit as he throw and just throws it away. Bring up second down and 10 for the Owls.
Yeah, it looked like a last-minute arm angle change because he looked out to throw it to the flat, and there was a defender right there in front of the receiver, and he did a good job of sailing it to the sideline.
Simon 1 out of 4 early on for 7 yards. Just picked up their first down of the game a moment ago. Second down and 10 from just outside the 35. And they give it on the jet sweep to Bermudez, and that's a pretty nice pickup. Closed captioning for today's game brought to you by Tableau TV. You pay once, you watch forever.
You can see Temple already trying to attack the perimeter with the speed, getting JoJo Bermudez the football. Bringing in also Torres Worthy, who was a track guy in high school all 4 years. So they're trying to get the speed on the outside as much as they can.
Third down and 5. They need to get just beyond the 45-yard line. Here comes Chase in motion. Great coverage and a big hit after the incompletion, and that was Eford out there again. I mean, leveling the hit on Worthy.
I told you, sure tackle, but also known to lay the boom. Oh, man. It's dangerous out there on the edges, guys.
It's the way Will Blackman used to do it.
You know what? I wasn't afraid of anybody. The one thing I didn't know.
Well, you're a big dude,
listen,
man.
Yeah, well, now I had a lot of burgers and other things.
A lot of pizzas and
But I knew every hit would hurt. That's the one thing I did know.
Bailey Stockton waiting on the punt, and there's a contact there, and that's going to be a 15-yard penalty. I believe that was Tyler Stewart getting down the field and made contact.
Kick catch interference by the kicking team, number 89. 15-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down, timeout.
All right, so a timeout on the field. The Ramblin' Wreck out to a 7-0 lead behind in Atlanta. There was a tiny little small green dot on the radar for hundreds of miles as far as you could see on the radar, and it happened to pass over downtown Atlanta about 40 minutes before we started. So a delay to get it started. Here's King, lost his footing, now fires down the field, and incomplete. He had a wide open Eric Rivers inside the 15-yard line. You wonder if stumbling there a little bit had anything to do with the timing of that play.
Yeah, he was open a little earlier, but yeah, that little stumble there kind of threw off his timing. And he knew, he was like, oh, please get there. Oh, my gosh, I threw it a little too far because Rivers was wide open running across the field.
Rivers had 3 catches for 72 yards in the win over Clemson. That'll be very close to a first down depending on the spot. And, I mean, he's right there. Catch made by one of the all-time greats here at Georgia Tech, Malik Rutherford. That's his 146th career catch, 6th all-time at Georgia Tech. And he is only 60 yards away from breaking into the top 10 all-time in receiving yards. Third down and a foot, and they run it. And this time it's Malachi Hosley. Boy, they're high on this young man. Was the Ivy League Player of the Year last year from Penn.
Yes, he was. He's stocky, yeah, 5'10", 205. Just a strong physical running back. You're going to see a lot of production from this backfield. They use everyone. Traylon Maddox, you'll see him. Jamal Haynes, we already saw him. And Malachi Hosley already showing his ability.
I mean, this guy 2 years at Penn rushed for almost 2,300 yards and 17 touchdowns. Back to the air, perfect strike inside the 30. And then tackled out of bounds. This time they connect with Rivers.
Yeah, Rivers, he's a savvy veteran here. He runs outstanding routes. Again, the savvy vet, he also is able to return punts and be effective there.
Yeah, he was at Memphis for a couple of years, at Florida International for a couple of years. By the way, he was a walk-on at both places, and he wound up being a third-team All-American at Florida International. Catch is made by Rutherford. Touchdown, Malik Rutherford, 24 yards. I thought King was limping a little bit after that play where he slipped. Oh, this is reaching for his right hand.
Yeah, he got right in the way of his throwing hand, so we'll see how that's doing.
Well, everybody around here holding their breath.
I wouldn't. This Haynes King. I'm not worried about him. That means he is the toughest man out here.
Point after is good. I mean, this is not taking long at all. Midway through the opening quarter. King with a touchdown run. The coach at Temple. He left Temple to come to Georgia Tech. And Key was his offensive line coach. In fact, the year that Collins came here to Georgia Tech, his first season they played Temple in Philly, and Temple boat raced Georgia Tech 24-2.
Okay, Temple. It's time. It's time. It's time. It's time for them to get productive here. They did a great job earlier in the last series.
Yep.
The quarterback run, quick game. Again, let's try to get more positive plays. You're going to hear that a lot through this whole time.
Worthy off the left hip of the quarterback, and he'll be handed the football. He broke a couple of tackles and was able to plunge forward for a couple of yards. And Daquan White, transferred junior from Eastern Michigan, in on the stop, an all Mid-American Conference performer. Blown dead before it ever got started, which most of the time means false start, not all the time.
False start. Offense, number 52. 5-yard penalty, second down.
That's Eric King, second-year starter at left guard out of Jersey City, New Jersey, only a sophomore. They returned 4 offensive linemen, starters from a year ago.
Watching these offenses, they're pretty much similar. They're mirrors of each other. They do a lot of the same things. You'll see Temple, they do a lot of motions. About 62% of their offensive players, nearly 2/3 of their players are motion. They do that a lot because they want to get the defense thinking, move their cleats, don't have anybody standing still, staring at our offense.
I want to ask you about a term we heard, and there's a good defensive play in the backfield right there. And that's a former Penn State Nittany line, Jordan Vandenberg. Bring up third down and long. I'll ask you about it. You know, both coaches talked about we do a lot of this stuff motion to maybe have a defender take their eye off a play or be consumed with something elsewhere. I want to hear from you a little bit later on. You know, what exactly that means when you're lining up on defense. But first, it's third down and 15. Catch is made by the tight end, but then he is smothered, is Peter Clark. And so having to punt it once again, Temple. What does that mean?
Basically, you're just trying to not have the defense just stare down your offense and just line up and run downhill. You want them to think like, okay, the formation's going to change. And sometimes with motion, the strength may change, which may rotate your defense to the other side. Also, you can't really get a beat on what they're going to do. So you want to try to do what they call it window dressing, right? Try to do different things just to throw the defense off a little bit. But fortunately for both defenses, both offenses motion, so they see it a lot in practice.
Yeah. Bailey Stockton waiting on the punt, angling towards a corner, and a fair catch at the 35-yard line. 36-yard punt. So after 24 points against Clemson last week, 2 possessions, 2 touchdowns for the Yellow Jackets today. 14-0. We saw a moment ago Haynes King reach after this touchdown pass for his either right wrist, right hand. And we wondered, you know, is he okay? Went over and shook hands with his head coach. And he's back out there.
Told you, nothing to worry about. That's Haynes King. Haynes King.
And naturally, he's going to keep it himself on the very next play and run it for close to 8 yards.
Listen, I tell you, being the running back in this offense is tough. It was almost like sipping the drink before the king does, right? You got to sample it first because it is dangerous. The way he held the football to the very last second and pulled it. You know, sometimes you got to sacrifice that body.
He's closing in on 300 rushing yards already this season. He only needs 27 more passing yards to get to 7,000 of those in his career. And they'll stay on the ground with Jamal Haynes, and that's good enough for a first down across the 45 to the 47. You know, last year, King, his style of play, I mean, look, as much as he runs it, a quarterback is going to get hit and hit regularly. and there's always a significant chance for injury. He missed 2 full games last year and parts of 3 others. The 2 games he did not play, they lost. So, I mean, say he does play and they win, you're talking about, you know, a 9-4 season. Looking for the long ball. In and out of the hands of Eric Rivers.
Yeah, they go back to the deep crosser, and just a great job getting the hand in there, making that play.
Benno Swakey, the transfer from Blinn Junior College.
That's a tough route to cover, man. That is a long way to run across the field and try to stay on the top shoulder to make that play.
Put it back in the hands of Jamal Haynes. Crosses midfield into Temple territory. We'll see where they mark it. It's going to be down to the 48-yard line.
Now
Third down.
Here's the thing that's not fair. This is why I am defending defensive backs. You saw Eric Rivers run that deep route across the field, and he went and got a substitution. Osuike still out there as a DB. We can't sub like receivers. That's the one thing I will defend with these DBs.
King, wide open receiver. And the catch is made, and that is good enough for a first down to Bailey Stockton. The sure-handed, tough as nails receiver. Look down in the trenches. Temple defensive line average under 290. Over 315 for the Tech offensive line. Well, you had to like that back in your standout days at Wake Forest, didn't you, Wes Bryant?
Yeah, man, no doubt about it. I played at about 305, but Brent Key, he's loving what this group is bringing right now. He said they've been tough. They bring it every day. He talked about Colin Rutledge and how good he has been for them this year, so he's been very excited about their play.
And he should be about that one. That's a young man that Will was talking about earlier. That's Isaiah Canyon. And that is a 37-yard touchdown pass. 20-0 Tech.
Here in my notes, I wrote down one word. Wow. That's what I wrote down here under his name. Isaiah Canyon, just a deep threat, dual sport athlete in high school. I'm telling you, NFL body. That is a tall, swole receiver.
He was a 4-star recruit out of Warner Robins, Georgia, and he got hurt early in training camp last year. Didn't play till the 5th game of the year. Then he got hurt again later in the year. But they feel like he's finally arrived.
The bodyguards up front did a great job giving Haynes some time. And just an outstanding, beautiful throw and catch. It looked like warm-ups.
You're right. So he didn't have a touchdown pass. He missed one game to Kings, his 2nd game of the year. Won the opener against Colorado, came back in the win over Clemson. But now a pair of touchdown throws early on in this one, his first 2 of the season.
Canyon fits in that mold of Mike Evans, right? Like that type of strong, physical, deep threat, deceiving speed. Like he may not look quick, but I'm telling you, he's going to separate. And that's exactly what he did on that drive right there. Going against number 24, Osuike, who just ran a deep route the play prior.
So 21-0, Georgia Tech. And that one booted through the back of the end zone. The fastest growing cable network in all of television is News Nation. News Nation respects all Americans and is news for all Americans. To find News Nation on your television, go to newsnationnow.com. Well, you got to give your defense a little bit of a break here.
Yeah.
Temple only has 1 first down and 28 total yards through 3 offensive possessions so far. Simon rolling and nowhere near the intended receiver. Bermudez.
Yeah, Kevin Hill was all over that. He's one of their sure tacklers. He was one of the highest rated tacklers at UAB a year ago. He showed you right there that he can only tackle, but he's really good in coverage. But I like what Temple's offense is doing right now. Like, take shots downfield. You're already down 21-zip. Like, this team is known for, like, a little bit playing it safe and hopefully waiting for a mistake. It's time to attack. Just throw the ball downfield, see what happens.
Give it to Ducker, and that's his best carry of the day. Maybe the answer to a trivia question. He is the only player ever in the history of college football, as Jay Ducker out of Omaha, Nebraska, to have at least one 100-yard rushing game for 4 different schools. Northern Illinois, Memphis, Sam Houston State, and already this year at Temple.
But with the portal, the way that they're going now, that record might get broken soon.
You're right, maybe at this school. Although no more COVID year. That's a nice throw and a nice catch, and he is a load now. That is Peter Clark. Grew up in London, played at the NFL Academy in London. Big man.
Listen, that's hard to defend. You got 6'6", 275. He just has to run to the sticks and box them out. Box out to the receivers. I mean, excuse me, the defensive backs. It reminds me of what they used to do in Dallas, all those tight ends. Jason Witten, he would just box you out at the sticks and just catch the football and get upfield.
Yeah, our guy Wes was talking about facing Witten back in his first year at the University of Florida. He said that dude, that's all he'd do is box you out, and they just throw it to him every third play.
Yeah, he's not running by you. He's just going to box you out.
Wes, that wasn't a lot of fun for the defensive guys with the Gators trying to hang with Witten.
No, he was not. And when I tell you, man, you look at his thighs, his neck, he was just thick, and he caught everything. And the thing about it, too, he could run as well. Who could forget the moment versus, I forget what team it was in the NFL when he was running without a helmet on. Yeah. So that just tells you how tough that guy was.
Oh, man.
But that's what I get with Peter Clark. Just a big guy running down. But that shows you how much of an athlete he is to be 275. Running down the field like that, catching passes.
Well, they've got a couple of tight ends they like a lot. And we've got great pictures we like a lot. High above Bobby Dowd Stadium, our aerial coverage brought to you by Lucas Oil. Of course, the stadium is named after Lucas Oil up in Indianapolis. They're off to a nice start, 2-0.
Yeah, that's where I played a Super Bowl at with the Giants at Lucas Oil. They're doing a great job up there with Daniel Jones.
Play fake, Bermudez, and he's tackled across the 45-yard line for the first time. Temple into Georgia Tech territory. Under a minute to go here in the opening quarter.
You saw in that play, they brought 2 guys in motion, which looked like a counter situation there, and able to roll out and throw the ball into the flat to the playmaker, JoJo Bermudez.
Tucker in the backfield, and he'll take the handoff. And he took an initial hit and was able to keep his feet moving.
This is what this offense can do when they're hitting on all cylinders.
All right, so we begin the second quarter, and that'll be a first down carry. Third down and less than a yard, and the Owls able to convert. It's the first decent drive of the game for Temple.
Yeah, the things that stands out, obviously equal plays, but you see the yards per play, 12.4, and the time of possession, meaning they're getting to the football, they're getting down the ball quick. Temple's doing a good job holding on to the football, but they're not getting any positive plays.
All right, so a first down inside the 39-yard line, and Ducker going to shift to the right of the quarterback, Simon. Play fake, good protection, now flushed out of the pocket. Simon with a lot of running room. A first down inside the 20, the 15, the 10, the 5, and down at the 4-yard line. What a run by Evan Simon, 34 yards. That's more than double his longest run of the year.
Listen, watch Ducker on this play. He does a great job of running as if he's still getting the route, which looks like he's blocking, which causes the defender to run with him. But great job, Evan Simon, getting down the field. That's what they need. They needed something. I don't care how it happened.
Yeah.
They needed a big play like that to get down into the red zone to possibly come out of this with some points.
All right, first and goal from inside the 5. Ducker lined up behind the quarterback Simon. They're going to throw it, lofted to the big tight end, and it's too high. That is excellent coverage right there by E.J. Lightsey. Transfer from Georgia. He's their leading tackler.
Look at this catch, Tom. This was nice. It didn't count, unfortunately. But again, they just shoot the athletic ability of Peter Clark.
Well, they've been money in the red zone this year against lesser opponents, but nonetheless. Scoring 42 against UMass, 55 against Howard before losing in Norman last week. That one nearly intercepted, and it looked like Simon, had he been a little more patient, could have just waited for that to sort of clear before he lofted it into the end zone. Looked like it anyway.
Yeah, that was 27, Tay Harris, he's their freshman, their dynamic freshman. He's one of the highest recruits that they ever got here at Georgia Tech. He was on the freak athlete list by 24/7 Sports, which lets you know the top athletes in the entire country. So, man, he is absolutely phenomenal. Shows you that 10-6 speed right there. Almost intercepted that football.
Well, they tried to throw it twice to the tight end. And now third down and goal. Quarterback keeper throws and denied the end zone. Ryder Kush, backup tight end out of the British Columbia, Canada. And you're down 21-0, 4th down and goal at the 2.
Yeah, the defensive backs do a good job of shooting through the thigh board to get him down. You don't want to go up there and hit him hard. Melvin Jordan, the linebacker, come through there, lowering the pads. Omar Daniels. Don't hit him high and get dragged into the end zone. Good job chopping him down.
Well, they've not run the ball once since it was first and goal at the 4. Will they run it at the 2? Yes, and a touchdown into the end zone for Jay Ducker. And what a national championship. He won another one at Sam Houston State. And now in his first year at Temple. Start the season off right and get game day ready. Scan the QR code on your screen to shop team swag and game day essentials from the CW Football Saturday Shop. Brought to you by Dick's. Every season starts at Dick's. When you consider all the years that Keeler's been coaching, he has taken his teams 20 times to the playoffs. 20 times.
That is impressive, man. That is winning. I don't care what level where you are. That is winning, and that's what he understands. Hopefully, he can do that here.
Well, I don't think there's any doubt about it. That Temple football, which back 2010 to 2020, they had a lot of good years. Now they've gone 3 straight years where they've won 3 games each season. They made the change. Had a couple of real good years under Jeff Collins, the aforementioned Jeff Collins, who left there to come here to Georgia Tech where things did not go well. But they've had some really good teams in the past. Second down after the loss on first down, and that ball squirts loose. Apparently, Rutherford never had it.
Yeah, just a hitch concept there. Usually short-handed, he does a good job, and sometimes, you try to run before you catch it. That was the case right there from Leak.
Well, I tell you what, if you can find a way to get a 3-and-out here, your offense comes right back out on the field. Coming off an 11-play, 75-yard scoring drive, if they can get a stop. Crossing pattern, and able to keep his feet, but short of the first down is Kenyon, so it will be a 3-and-out for the Yellow Jackets.
This is a great job by the defense, trying to take away the deep passes, making Haynes check it down to the short crosser. It's a good job tackling Kenyon, who is a big receiver, as I stated earlier.
A little bit of life on that Temple sideline. This ball is killed. Holy Moses. Bermudez able to turn a nice return here and looking for more. There is a flag down. He's run out of bounds. And another flag comes in. So 2 penalty flags on the field, one along the sideline. The other came from the middle of the field very late. Boy, what a great return. 37 yards by Bermudez, but will it stand? More than likely not. That was a 65-yard punt.
There are 2 fouls during the return. Illegal block in the back by the return team. Number 13, that penalty declined. Personal foul, blindside block by the return team. That foul will be enforced. First down.
Yeah, this is such a dynamic return. And unfortunately, those 2 penalties, one was accepted and delegated. You can see Coach Casey Kalis saying that he did a flyby, which is where you run by and you put your hands up. And that's usually a legal block. Yeah, you see, you put your hands up. Oh, he did duck his helmet, but then put his hands up a little late. The other one was a flyby. That's a legal block. You can run by and just fly by with your hands, almost like hip checking. You can do that. So the first one, I can see possibly because he did duck his helmet and then throw his hand, but the second one should not have been called.
He asked Keeler his keys to a successful head coach. He said 1, great special teams, 2, minimize the mental mistakes, and 3, be the most physical team on the field. That's the MO of both of these coaches at Lattimore. And a first down run by Simon, looking for any breathing room and maybe 2 yards on first down.
Yeah, going back to those blindside blocks, just know that as players, we're taught, if you're running by and you see him, just put your hands up, and the referee is well aware that you can do that. So that's unfortunate to have that great return negated by those 2 calls.
Picked up a yard, second down and 9. Dangerous place on the field here for the Temple Owls. Play fake. And now Simon rolling, lays it off, and the catch is made for a first down to Ducker out of the backfield. And that's across the 20.
Yeah, Evan Simon just looks super calm in this situation, in this backed up situation. Does a good job stepping up. In the last minute, you see Jay Ducker leak out of the backfield to give Evan Simon window to throw the football.
It's a 15-yard pickup. So they started this drive from their own 5. Now they're out to the 21 and a first down. Under 10 minutes to go here in the second quarter.
And a lot of guys do. He said he wanted to inspire kids to read and learn. Tells the story of his life, how he grew up, what he likes to do, and also has 10 questions at the end to help kids with reading comprehension. And Brent Key said that he has not read the book, but his daughter loves it. And so, yeah, man, he definitely did a great thing getting this book and giving kids something educational to do with their time.
That's good stuff. Really good stuff. Thank you very much, Wes Bryant, the big fella down on the sideline.
We got momentum swinging here, Tommy.
We do.
Temple's doing some good things so far.
Nice pickup on first down. And now going to throw it on second down, or are they? Nope. Another run and another first down. Closing in on a career high for rushing yards in a game is Simon. In fact, he has just matched it. Going back to September of last year at Utah State, he ran for 49 yards. He now has 49 in this game.
No, and I love his mid-game adjustment. He's learning, okay, I'm going to have to use my legs a little bit more. He does a great job stepping up every time, trying to look for his outlet, his check down if it's there. And usually, so far, he's had a lane to run through, picking the first down.
First down and not much running room there for Therese Worthing. Tell you, this could get quite interesting if, and it's a big if, you got a long way to go. You're only at your own 34-yard line. If somehow Temple can chew up a lot of clock and come away with points on this drive. I mean, it looked like they were on the verge of getting blown out of the gym here.
At least get into the double digits, right? That'd be super positive for this offense.
Second down at 10. Just a poor throw. Well, you talk about a pro body. We were talking earlier about Canyon on one side. How about Kajaya Holloway? 6'4", 210 is number 11 for the Temple Owls.
Just a true vet. That's what I wrote in my notes. A veteran. He's a big body receiver on the outside. But Tommy, we got a third down here. This is a big one here. They're on the negative side of the field, so this is going to be an important conversion to keep this momentum going for this Temple offense.
Temple 2 out of 6 on third down, both coming on their last touchdown scoring drive, spanning 75 yards. Simon looking around, and he'll be sacked all the way back at the 30-yard line. First sack of the game for the Yellow Jackets. Spalding the first one there, number 1.
Yeah,
and Boyd cleaned it up.
They bring some pressure this time. They're like, you're not going to scramble on us this time. Not at all. You're not going to burn us on third down. So they do a good job getting to the quarterback, getting him down.
And that has been an issue for Georgia Tech early this season, getting to the quarterback.
Yeah, you saw Cayman Spalding wrap around in pursuit to get after the quarterback.
Right at the 7-minute mark. And Dante Atten will put a foot on it. Low line drive coming up to get it. And a fair catch. Let's check in back in the studio.
Well, coming up in just a couple minutes, we got the halftime show. It's presented by Subaru. Love, it's what makes Subaru Subaru. George Reister and Michael Bumpus will join me in studio. We'll get their thoughts on the first half as Georgia Tech continues to roll here. And we got a shocking start for the Clemson Tigers. You don't want to miss it. It's coming up in just a couple minutes.
All right, fellas, look forward to catching up with you at halftime after that 34-yard punt. So now all of a sudden, Georgia Tech comes up with a stop on defense and a 21-7 lead back on the ground. And a nice pickup on first down by Malachi Hosley.
Again, you see the counter, you see the gap schemes working for this Georgia Tech offense, getting positive yards. Again, this big, massive offensive line just moving bodies around. Very athletic offensive lines, I might add.
Well, they really like their offensive line here at Georgia Tech. And, of course, Brent Key knows all about that.
Prior to the snap, illegal snap, number 52, 5-yard penalty, second down.
Harrison Moore, sophomore center.
Brent Key's an old line coach. I don't know if that's something that a little tip that he learned or something like that throughout the years.
Hey. So after a good first down run, they back him up 5. So it's second down and 11. Another flag comes down. Catch is made, good enough for a first down. And again, that's Hosley. But will it stand or will it come back?
Illegal formation. 5 players in the backfield. 5-yard penalty, second down.
Boy, Brent Key can't like that.
Hey, Wes, what is it like getting a penalty as an offensive lineman? Did you have any things you had to do at Wake Forest when you got in trouble?
Man, I don't know what's worse, giving up a sack or getting a penalty, because you know that everybody in the stadium is looking at you. You feel so self-conscious, and all you can do is just say, my bad, man, and just pat the chest and try to go to the next play and make a play for your team.
I mean, would you walk back to the huddle and just look at the quarterback and say, my bad, or look at the entire huddle and say, my bad?
Yeah, man. I mean, I didn't get many penalties, but I did have to yell, look out, a couple of times at my quarterback, man, because that sack was coming.
Down the middle of the field, and a misfire, incomplete, so it brings up 3rd down and 14.
And Tommy, as a punt returner, I always knew who missed my block because he was the first person that helped me up. That's how
Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, didn't you have a punt return and an interception return for a touchdown in the same game?
I had a fumble. And
fumble
I think
return, I'm sorry, and a punt return.
Yeah. It was pretty cool. It was against the Raiders.
Yeah, I think there's less than a handful of guys that have ever done that in the history of the NFL. This will be 3rd down and forever, and now forced to punt. So, by the time they get the ball, there'll be roughly 5 minutes to go until halftime, and Temple will get a chance to put some more points on the board, trailing by 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, another great stop here. However, they were the beneficiaries of some self-inflicted wounds with penalties, which caused the 3rd and long. So another positive situation for Temple.
And don't forget about that return by Bermudez that was nullified by a block in the back. And not bad field position starting at the 27-yard line. Well, we're getting so many rave reviews on CW about our next car Xfinity Series, and next Saturday, the playoffs. Head to the high banks of Kansas Speedway. Championship dreams on the line. NASCAR Xfinity Series playoff racing next Saturday, 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 Pacific, only on the CW. We got down here a lot of guys on our crew, big NASCAR fans, and they just couldn't talk enough about the Xfinity coverage on CW. You know, the regular NASCAR, Winston Cup, they run on like 4 different networks, so you're never sure where to find them. But on the Xfinity Series,
you know where to go.
You know exactly where to go, and you don't have to worry about it. All right, 1st down, and a nice solid pickup on 1st down by Ducker. He had the touchdown run 2 series ago for the Owls. Take a look at that. Their first 3 drives, not even 2 yards per play. Barely over 2 yards per play. Their last 2 drives, they're moving the football.
Yeah, a big 34-yard run by Evan Simon is a big part of that contribution.
So a 2nd down and 5. Quarterback gonna dump it off. And that is just a great play. Made in the open field right there by Georgia Tech on defense. That's Jai Gilmore.
Yeah, the one thing this defense has been outstanding doing today is getting to the football and tackling. Defensive backs tackling, these linebackers, everyone's getting involved, wrapping up and tackling these big tight ends.
That was Rodney Shelling, actually, who made the open field tackle, and then Gilmore able to finish him off. Well done by Shelling. So a 3rd down. That looked like a pretty good throw. And a drop by Cooch, a tight end. Eford was there. I don't know if he got a hand on it or knocked it loose.
Call what you want. Effort, Eford, it's there, okay? It's there, making plays. He's been all over the place with that lovely neck roll. That's how you know you got a real linebacker when you got the neck roll on.
You got that right. Shades of Chris Spielman back in the old days. Detroit Lions all-time leading tackler. Here's a boot, and it's a good one. Fair catch at the 25-yard line. So Georgia Tech with a chance now with 3:17 left. The iconic TV franchise joining the CW. A brand new series, Law & Order Toronto, Criminal Intent. Series premiere is Wednesday night, 8 Eastern, 7 Central, right here on the CW. 42-yard boot. Things have really gone quiet for this Georgia Tech offense now on the last 3 series after putting up 21 points their first 3 series.
Yeah, it was electric in the first quarter, so you thought it was going to be it. But
yeah.
Temple does a great job holding on and not making many mistakes outside of what happened on special teams.
Still dancing around is Eric Rivers. Of course, penalties hurt him the last drive, but the drive before that, it was just a straight 3 and out.
Yeah, you see TD, and literally, 3 and out both times punting the football. Only 5 in 3 yards, 8 yards in 2 total drives.
And Brent Key does not look very happy over on that sideline. I mean, this looked like it was going to be a boat race early on. Out of the backfield in a swarming defense by the Owls. Well done. And that's a loss of 5 on the play. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 10. And that will more than likely take us to the 2-minute timeout unless Georgia Tech decides to run another play. There is an injured player, so that is Eric Stewart. And
yeah, hopefully he's all right. That'll be a big tough loss, man. He's a tackling machine.
Yes, he is.
Over 100 tackles in JUCO.
There's Stewart right there. He went in to make sure he was run out of bounds and not sure what happened. Oh, maybe on the neck there.
It's hard to tell, but hopefully he's all right, man.
Yeah,
he's up walking around.
Shoulder, he kind of waving his left shoulder. Stewart out of East Palo Alto, California. Played at Foothill College before transferring into Temple. Honor roll student. Great in the classroom. Temple's got a lot of guys great in the classroom.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, absolutely.
They brought in a lot of transfers, naturally, like a lot of other schools, but they brought in transfers from guys that have already gotten their degrees and now working on their master's degrees. Will they run another play? Yes, they do on 3rd down. And King is sacked, and I would imagine we get a timeout here.
And look who it is.
That'll take us the 2-minute timeout. Loss at 9. Final 2 minutes of the half presented by the Wells Fargo Active Cash Credit Card. Temple should. Decent field position, Temple. They will get good field position. Late signal, but at the 34-yard line, so you're looking at 1:52 left to go until halftime.
Yeah, you got 1 timeout here, so you're gonna see Temple work the boundary here. This is actually a staple in their offense. They like a lot of out routes, a lot of corner routes, a lot of sprint outs to the flat. So hopefully try to get up the field to save that timeout. So they're gonna go a little tempo here and try to move the ball that way. If anything, you want to try to quickly get past the 50, and hopefully you still have that 1 timeout if you're getting production in the pass game.
Simon has been solid. He's not been spectacular, but he's been solid. He's not turned the ball over. He's hit on 8 of 17, 61 yards. He's run for 44 yards officially. You throw in a sack. And now he's rolling to his left, and he'll just hang on to it and step out of bounds. Clock with 1:46 to go. And he may have gotten back to the line of scrimmage. Yep, 2nd down and 10.
You'll see Georgia Tech's defense, they're playing a little bit of quarters. We'll call it palms, where the cornerback is reading to see if number 2 is going to run out because they understand the situation. Basically what I just said, they're going to look for some short routes, some out routes, go into the boundary, try to save that timeout, as in the out of bounds.
Run it. And Ducker's still on his feet. And he's pushed forward across the 40 to the 41-yard line. Clock running, 1:32 left until halftime.
Yeah, you're good. You still got 1.5 minutes. Like, that's, in football, that's still plenty of time in a situation. You want to do as much as you can to not give the football back to Georgia Tech with a lot of time on the clock. So, yeah, run the ball, try to burn some clock, and try to get this first down.
Down to a minute 10. They're going to run it again. And running room around the corner, although I think they got the wide receiver, Colin Chase, on a hold that's going to bring this back, if that is indeed the call. Well, I tell you what, when that kid turns the corner now, he is moving. Takes away a 9-yard gain that would have been a first down across midfield.
There are 2 fouls on the play, one during the play, one after the play. Holding by the offense, number 88. That's a 10-yard penalty. After the play was over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 14. That 15-yard penalty will be enforced, and an automatic first down.
How about that? That's Jai Gilmore. A personal foul after the play had been completed, and this should have been going one way, and now it's going the other way.
Yeah, I mean, they do. Hey, listen, sometimes good things happen to good people in that situation right there, because that did not look good. I saw the hold clear as day. I saw 2 holds, actually, and so sometimes, man, you got to be smart. You know, the play was over. Don't hit him out of bounds.
Okay, so a minute 1 left. Temple with the ball at its own 46-yard line. You've got Chase and Bermudez at the top of your screen. And that's a tight end in motion with Holloway at the bottom of your screen. They're looking at Holloway. I thought they were. They cleared out. Staying in bounds rather than getting out of bounds is Worthy. And he's just short of a first down by maybe about half a yard, but the clock running down to 47.
Yeah, you're still good, because now you can still either clock if you need to. You're past the 50-yard line, so now the offense has changed a little bit. Maybe you can take a shot to the end zone in this situation here as well.
Good defense played right there by Kelvin Hill. All right, third down at a yard. They've had very good success running the ball. In fact, better success running it oftentimes than they have trying to throw it. Bermudez will leave, an extra tight end checks into the game. So they have 2 tight ends, although only one is just offset behind the right tackle. And they're going to throw it. Nearly intercepted. Boy, Simon had so much time. If he had set his feet, and again, we said it earlier, just a little bit of patience, and he's able to make this completion. The receiver was open.
Well, that one was tough, too, because as some guys would say, he threw that into the defensive back meeting room. There's about 6 defenders around 2 different guys there, and that's just a tough throw right there. You either toss that out of bounds or you try to eat it and get the first down yourself.
All right, they're going to go for it. Why not? 31 seconds left.
Yeah, you've been having great success with your tight ends. Even the number 1, Colin Chase, has been really good for you. Short hands receiver.
Well, you got to run this, don't you? You have to run it. Yeah, they're going to run it, and they get the first down. Every time they run it on third down, they pick up the first down. And they do have a timeout to play with, 27, and they'll use their, oh no, now they'll set the ball and crank up the clock. So we're 25, 24, 23. Incomplete on first down. Amari Harvey saying that close to picking that one off. That's what all you DBs think. You're that close.
Well, he was that. Listen, that was a great. Listen,
that wasn't close.
Tommy, no haters in the booth. That was a great play by the Auburn transfer, Amari Harvey. He's extremely fast and physical. He's been all over the place. On that, he's been strapping that side of the field.
8th play of this drive, helped by the personal foul.
Yeah, this is 3-down territory. Try to attack the seams if you can, but right now they're doing a good job pushing.
And again, just throwing it out of bounds. Nobody open. Good coverage down there and good pressure by the Yellow Jackets. There he is again, Harvey. He still thinks he's close to getting one.
Yeah, look, only rushed 3 linemen and got pressure right up the middle, ripping through and causing Ever Simon to leave the pocket.
All right, you got 10 seconds left and you have a timeout. I guess you're thinking, Will, you know, complete something to give you a chance to kick a field goal here?
Yeah, I mean, you got to take a shot downfield. I mean, I would do something here like that. I mean, or maybe, yeah, get it to the middle, call a quick timeout, and get the field goal.
Yep, they throw it and incomplete. So 4th down, they're probably just going to throw the Hail Mary here. I mean, you still have time with a catch, sit down on the ground and call a timeout. But they're going to send out the punt team. They're not even going to take a chance. Huh. Or are they going to kick a field goal from this distance? This would be a 61-yard field goal. Season long is 45 for this sophomore Carl Harden out of Raleigh, North Carolina. Tell you what, he was killing them in pregame show. 55, 57 yards, good snap, good hold, and this will be just short. But at the end of the day, man, 273 wins. If you're just tuning in, only Brian Kelly, the all-time winningest head coach at Notre Dame history, now of course at LSU, is the only coach in college football with more wins than K.C. Keeler. Penalty flag down on that kick.
Yeah, I saw a guy leave early on a kickoff cover.
And that's the stuff that, if you have any chance of pulling off an upset, and it would be a huge upset, those things can't happen.
Offside, kicking team number 35. That 5-yard penalty will be added on to the end of the kick. First down.
Yeah, see, he wanted the special teams to come through today, but so far, a lot of laundry on that side of the football.
And taking away a big return, you may remember.
Yeah.
In that punt return in the opening half. All right, here we go. Haynes King gets things started here in the second half. Completion to the backup tight end Scyther, and that brings us to our closed captioning for today's game, brought to you by Tableau TV. Pay once, watch forever. Ball is loose. And who has the football? The Temple Owls say they have it because they do. Stewart, who was injured in the opening half, comes on the football, and Haynes King has coughed it up to start this second stanza.
Now this is exactly how you want to start the second half for Temple football. Just manhandle the football right there. You see the zone read, the read option, and just the ball slips out of his hands. Eric Stewart does a great job sliding and cradling the football. Now Temple is in great position to capitalize on this.
Yeah, the ball just shot out. But you saw those numbers we showed you at halftime, the difference between the first quarter and the second quarter. And Brent Key, in our interview with Wes Bryant at halftime, was really bent out of shape.
Well, he's not straight right now.
You're right about that. You're right about that. All right, a first down. They've got the football in territory, and this is a good run by Ducker. Cuts it back up to the inside the 30, down to the 28-yard line. They have run the ball much, much better as this game has gone on. I mean, some of those numbers don't tell the whole story because Simon has rushed well, the 44 rushing yards.
But listen, those 24 yards, it may not seem like a lot, but it's positive. Like those 2 yards, 3 yards, like it's doing something to this defense, even though it doesn't seem like a lot of yards.
Well, you got 3 there. So now it's second down and 7. They play faking. Wide open down the middle of the field, and it's a touchdown to JoJo Bermudez. And don't look now, but the Temple Owls are very much alive in Atlanta. 28-yard strike.
I love when I give you an impact player, Tom, when he comes through making impact plays. JoJo Bermudez, dynamic receiver, making extremely that play right there.
And look at that face. Fumble on the second play from scrimmage. And then on the second play from Temple, a touchdown. Harden now on for the point after to make it a one-score game, and who would have thunk it when it was 21-0 in the first quarter. 1-14. 14 unanswered for Temple after falling behind 21-0 in the first quarter. Well, Georgia Tech getting its second possession, but first let's check in back with the fellas in our studio.
Well, Tom, we got a good CW studio update for you. We got ourselves a game. Auburn down by 6. Malcolm Simmons caps a 14-play, 75-yard drive, and Auburn now up by 1 late in the fourth.
Tell you what, that guy can coach at Auburn. He may have made a few enemies along the way, but boy, he can coach. Auburn trying to start the year at 4-0. We're not ranked in the top 40 when this season began. First down, Jamal Haynes, and he'll pick up as he shoved forward. That may turn into about a 4-yard run. Second down coming up.
So Temple, yeah, I mean, this is huge. I mean, Temple, they were able to stop the bleeding earlier, so now can Georgia Tech do the same with these penalties and turnovers here, letting Temple back into this game?
4 yards. After they looked unstoppable. And here's Haynes. He nearly broke that for a touchdown. Was tripped up. He's into Temple territory. Oh, no, they're going to say it's at the 48-yard line where his knee went down.
Yeah, let's get the ball back to Haynes. He started the game off right. Started the game off with explosive plays. Get the ball back to our playmaker.
And give it to him again after that 18-yard gain, and he is slammed to the turf after a 2-yard pickup. Second down. 2+ minutes into this third quarter, and Temple already the beneficiary of a turnover, and then 2 plays later, a touchdown.
Hey man, we need you out there. That's what you're getting. You're gonna get the football to bail us out of the situation here.
And he is in some pain down there. Empty backfield for King. Trips to the top of your screen. And King is going to run it. Crowd looking for a face mask, and I think they threw the flag because of a face mask. Alan Hay had him tied up behind the line of scrimmage. Certainly didn't mean to do that. Yep. But he got him.
Yeah, you seen the helmet come forward. That was an easy call right there.
Hey, the transfer from Miami of Florida. Still got this year and next year to play for the Owls.
See Hay rocking the single digit.
Yeah, we'll tell you about that. We've alluded to it a couple of times already. But after that 15-yard penalty, back on the ground and bouncing it to the outside is Hosley. He's looking for the end zone and got that. But would be hard pressed to break them all. Hamilton was that good.
Joe Hamilton was nice. My gosh, lost the Heisman to Ron Dane, I believe it was.
Yep. Tuesday night on NXT, it's TNA World Champion Trick Williams. Winner take all match. Don't miss it Tuesday, 8 Eastern, 7 Central, right here on the CW. Wes, I know you'll be dialed in on that.
You already know I will be, man, and they had WrestlePalooza today. It's actually going on right now. I'll be missing that, but I'll definitely catch up on the highlights a little bit later and see what happens.
Do you have the DVR on WrestlePalooza?
Yeah, man. I mean, it is a pretty big event. It's their first one on another network, and so it's pretty interesting. But, yeah, okay. I'll check on the results later.
All right, but you'll be watching this one for sure on CW. First down, heavy pressure. They brought the blitz off the edge. Simon had to hurry, incomplete. Second down. That was Gilmore.
Okay, now we got to get back to our offense. We were able to capitalize on the turnover. When I say we, I mean as in we, Temple. We capitalize on the turnover. So now get back to our offense. We cut down the lead a little bit back to it. Now we're in a situation where we have some momentum, despite Georgia Tech scoring a touchdown.
Yeah, only 4 plays, 75 yards, aided by that face mask penalty, but had a couple of big plays on it. And Shifting gears, it's Worthy and just nowhere to go. How about the Yellow Jackets swarming defensively there? Huge loss.
Yeah, Therese Worthy, he's a track guy, but I tell you what, the other side has track guys as well, so you got to be careful trying to go side to side. Try to get north to south as soon as possible.
That is an 11-yard loss. They're just going to air it out and take a chance of getting a call, and not one there. Looking for Bermudez, and excellent coverage in the Georgia Tech secondary. So it's a 3-and-out. And momentum, Uncle Mo has entered the arena once again for the home team.
Yeah, they tried the slot fade against Kelvin Hill, but he's been straps all day long playing nickel for this Georgia Tech defense. I mean, he was chest to chest. There was nowhere he could breathe to get that football.
Marshall Nichols from right here in Atlanta is a punter by way of UNLV. And a fair catch called for. Great field position for Georgia Tech. 39-yard boot. Next week, CW football Saturday, ACC showdown. Virginia Tech finally getting into the win column under their interim head coach after Brett Pry was let go. We'll go to NC State. NC State locked up in a wild one against Duke right now. Virginia Tech and NC State next week, 7 Eastern. Night game next week, 4 Pacific. Only on the CW. Make our way into Raleigh, North Carolina. See our old buddy Boo Corrigan, the athletic director for the Wolfpack. First down, King he was looking for the home run ball, and now he's in trouble and sacked from behind. And able to run him down there is Sekou Kromah out of East Orange, New Jersey. Transfer from Teaneck College. He had 2.5 tackles for a loss in the game last week at Oklahoma. He showed up.
Yeah, he's a big anchor off the edge. You see him over there, 6'3", 280, coming off the edge, getting that sack right there. So, yeah, he's a force to be reckoned with.
That one nearly snapped over the head of King, and now he's in trouble again. Running for his life, and just throws it away. So, I mean to tell you, 2 plays have just flown right by in this possession for Georgia Tech.
Yeah, you can see right here in the secondary, they're just all keeping everything in front, really attacking the lanes, attacking the areas, and doing a good job, especially on the scramble. We say as a defensive back, you want to plaster, meaning you want to stick to your receiver. Once the quarterback breaks the pocket, you want to stay with him wherever he goes.
King in the game, 11 of 16, 145 yards, couple of touchdowns. 7 carries, or beg your pardon, he has 6 carries for only 9 yards. Of course, he includes sacks in the college game off a rushing total. They do not do that in the pro game. Underthrown, and it's 3-and-out. Georgia Tech just finding 0 consistency on offense since that opening quarter. Granted, they scored on their last possession.
Yeah, I know we've been hyping up Haynes King this whole time about him and his dual threat ability, but the one thing about a dual threat quarterback, because you have the option to run, sometimes you're a little impatient in the pocket and you look a little erratic. And so far this game, when he's been sitting back and there's been rush, he looked a little impatient and not sure whether to throw the ball down the field or run with his feet. Oh, great punt.
Great punt is right. And that will be down at the 1-yard line. You're not going to do much better than that. 55-yard boot by the Australian by the punter, Nichols.
Ooh.
Okay, Big Wheels.
We see you, Mike.
Oh, you mean my beautiful new ride? Well, with Progressive's Name Your Price tool, I went and found the right auto insurance rate for me. You know this thing can traverse any terrain.
Terrain?
Beautiful look at downtown Atlanta. Our aerial coverage brought to you by Lucas Oil. Get a look over to the right there, the campus of Georgia Tech. Nestled right along the highway. And on the other side, downtown ATL. First down. And a 1-yard run, if even that. Temple trailing 28-14, 9 minutes to go in the third quarter.
You're in a backed up situation here, so Temple is trying to get a little bit of breathing room. See right there instantly with a direct run downhill. Usually an inside-outside zone team, but try to run some gap schemes here just to get a little more breathing room.
Remember, they were able to do that last time they were backed up inside the 5. But now standing in his own end zone is Simon. He's going to throw it under pressure and nearly intercepted. It would have been a touchdown.
Man, he just got absolutely body slammed at the back of the end zone. Oh man, that one was there.
Alexander providing the pressure. So now third down.
Yeah, Alexander and Triplet coming through there, putting the heat on.
And how about that? They're able to convert on third down and 10. And that's Bermudez out across the 20 up to the 22-yard line. A gain of 19.
This is what you do when you're in a compromised position. Go to your playmakers. You see JoJo runs up the seam. Little bend right behind the nickel back. Leaving plenty of room for Evan Simon to hit him for the first down.
Well, that seems like a play that has had success today.
Yeah, it was the first play of the game.
Yeah, why not run it more and more? I mean, if something works. Nowhere to go for Worthy trying to turn the corner. Or I beg your pardon, that was Ducker, not Worthy. Good play by the big fella. Vandenberg. They feel like he is their best run defender, a second-team All-ACC performer a year ago. Started his career at Penn State. Born and raised in South Africa before coming to Providence. You know a little bit about that place. Not far. Protection breaking down, and Simon has to eat it. He picks up a yard. That will not officially be a sack. But another third down and long. Under 7 to go in the third.
Yeah, it's tough. They can't keep losing on first and second down, be put in these third and long positions. But they showed earlier, hey, we have the ability to convert it, but we want to try to not to be in these situations. Going back to JoJo, Tom.
Yeah, Bermudez is right there, right around the 19-yard line, the bottom of your screen. He's open, but they couldn't get him the ball. And that'll be a sack. Triplet again is there. He was all over that series defensively.
You can see them coming off the edge right there, and Triplet comes right down the middle, stepping right up into the quarterback's lane, getting the sack.
This will take us down to under 6 minutes here in the third quarter. You know, I can't help but wonder, and there's probably nothing to it, but Georgia Tech on offense started out like a ball of fire, right? 21 points in the first quarter. They're throwing it, they're running it. And we saw Haynes King reach for his right hand or right wrist. That ball bobbled, but a lot of running room now for Eric Rivers. And he's across midfield to the 44. There's a penalty flag on the far side of the field after that 14-yard return.
During the kick, holding by the return team, number 14. That 10-yard penalty will be administered at the end of the kick. First down.
All right, but let's go back to King. Now remember, I mean, they were just doing whatever they wanted to do. And King, he reaches for his right hand or his right wrist. They're making him shake hands with people out on the sideline, what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, testing his hand strength, and you can see it looks like he bended his wrist. But yeah, ever since then, it's been. I mean, he's still been effective, but
yeah.
What does make me think is when he did the zone read and the ball just like took off, like he fumbled right there. So you do think like, maybe his wrist has something to do with it. But I mean, he's still been pretty efficient, still been doing a good job.
But they have not been the same team on offense.
Correct.
And whether or not it has anything to do with the injury or not, we might know after the game. We certainly will not know before the game. Big carry by Jamal Haynes.
That's why you just get it to this guy.
Yeah.
You get it to Jamal.
Boy, he has been such a good player for Georgia Tech. His career, he's averaged almost 6 yards per carry. He's had 7 100-yard gains. He's rushed for over 2,200 yards. He will go down in the top 7 or 8 all time at Georgia Tech. And now he cuts it back the other way, and he's off to the races. And he's into the open field, the 30, the 20, the 10. Run out of bounds inside the 10, first and goal, Georgia Tech.
Yeah, this is the dynamic playmaking type of running back. Burst and balance that he has. The former receiver, now running back, does a good job there getting back. You see outstanding blocking for the offensive line. And look at Haynes King. He's like, Mike, you're worried about my wrist? I'm still going to go block down the field.
47-yard scamper, and Haynes will come to the sideline. You know he'd like staying there, give him the ball, try to get the touchdown. He's the one that earned it here.
Yeah, Haynes, he's your prototypical running back, man, that you want.
Snap bobbled. Haynes King just plows forward inside the 5 down to the 3, second down and goal. And he's helped up. And an injured offensive lineman. That's their All-American, Keelan Rutledge, out of Royston, Georgia.
Yeah, just a low snap, tough to grab right there.
He got rolled up on right there. Rutledge did. There was that picture of him celebrating Clemson with that bloody nose. That shot that went viral. You know, he just dominated Peter Woods from Clemson last week. Speaking of Clemson, I mean, my gosh, 1-3 on the year. Clemson gets thumped today at home by Syracuse, who goes to 3-1 on the year. And man, if you thought last week was rough for Dabo, wait till this week.
And everyone made fun of Fran after running those sprints after the game, right
for the goalpost. Haynes checks back in there, bottled up at the line of scrimmage, brings up 3rd down and goal. But Wes, you cover the ACC. You do talk radio in Charlotte. You know, I want to get your thoughts on what's going on in Clemson.
Man, you talk about a team that I had going undefeated to a national championship. They had pro guys everywhere. But I just think this offensive line and Cade just not playing like a veteran. Cade Klubnik, the quarterback. And I felt like the defense, to be honest with you, was reading a lot of their press clippings and just haven't been playing up to their potential, man. There are tough times going on in Clemson.
You got that right. And plowing into the end zone is Hosley. So that opens back
for you. John Mateer's Oklahoma team down 17-16. The dude's just playing Superman. Started the game 8-19 passing. Due to 16-17 since then. Got the touchdown there. They missed a 2-point conversion, but how about the defense stepping up? Or Mason Thomas with the safety. That's a big time sack. Oklahoma up 24-17.
It'll be interesting to see how Oklahoma does moving forward. I got to be honest with you. I'm not on the bye yet. I know they're undefeated. Mateer's got off to a great start. They've had their 2 biggest games by far at home. They had Auburn today. They had Michigan at home. We'll see moving forward.
Yeah, they're a physical team, and it's still early. I think a lot of top teams, it's pretty close across the board.
Yeah.
It's hard to really tell who's the clear-cut winner so far.
You're right. I mean, it's not like Ohio State and Penn State and some of these teams are looking any better, and you could make the argument that, Oklahoma's played 2 ranked teams.
Correct.
Again, both at home, but they've taken care of business.
If Miami gets a big win tonight, I mean, I feel like they let you know they're the clear leader if they get a big win tonight, that is.
Yep, that'll be against the Florida Gators later tonight in Miami, where we saw them last week. That's a talented group. I mean, really talented team. And you've got a veteran quarterback who just knows how to win games.
Yeah, man. Carson Becker, he's pro ready. There's no question about that. He looks awesome. He looks amazing. He looks comfortable.
All right, under 3 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter. Temple down 21, but you wouldn't count them out quite yet. Colin Chase with a reception.
Colin Chase out of St. John Bosco, out where I am in California, the #1 team in the country in high school. Them in Mater Dei always taking turns. A lot of talent out there in California.
Yeah, no doubt about that. No doubt. Well, there are so many number of states that just have such great high school football. Lots of running room here for Simon. That'll be a first down. Slides his way up to the 43-yard line. I mean, right here in Georgia. Incredible high school football. Pennsylvania. We know about Florida and Texas and Ohio. And, there's some great high school football all across the country. That's what Casey Keeler was talking about. He said, look, we've got a lot of really good players in Pennsylvania. And that's where we want to start our recruiting, but we need to expand it a little bit. Outside of Philly, all the way into Ohio.
Jersey, Connecticut,
yep.
That whole area he wants to take full advantage of in recruiting.
And then, of course, when you talk to Brent Key, he's like, we consider it to be 2 states, the state of Atlanta and then the state of Georgia. He says, it's not to say we're not recruiting other places. We are. He said, but if we can recruit the state of Atlanta and the state of Georgia, we're in business.
Yeah, he said it doesn't make sense that, we miss a guy who's right down the street here in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Because we're going out to Texas or Florida or somewhere else.
And I tell you, one of the better high school, all the states that I just ripped off, and you know this, California, Florida, Texas, Pennsylvania, Ohio, those are big states. But I tell you, the 2 states down south that have so much talent that are not big states, Alabama and Louisiana.
Absolutely. I mean, half my teammates in the NFL were from
Alabama,
Louisiana.
And of course, he knows all about that. He grew up in Birmingham. All right, 3rd down and 3. Quarterback going to keep it, and he will get the first down. He has run the ball very well today. In fact, a career best day running the football for Simon.
Yeah, but busy.
Haynes has rushed 10 carries for 110 yards. You saw that 47-yarder a minute ago there. First down now for Temple, and running room again for Simon. And he picks up 7, maybe 8, depending on the spot. Hey, this kid's showing some toughness here today. He got beat up last week at Oklahoma, and he just keeps grinding it out here today at Georgia Tech.
Yeah, this is why he's the captain of this team, man. He's just shown tons of resilience. We talked about Haynes King running the football so far. Simon has shown, listen, if I need to, I'll do it. And so far, that's what this game has been asking him to do.
We were talking about it earlier, about how he wears a single digit. As he'll cut it back to the inside and gets to the 40, he'll bring up 3rd down and 2. This goes back to Al Golden, now the defensive coordinator of the Cincinnati Bengals. He was at Notre Dame, you may remember, as their DC last year. But when he was a head coach at Temple, one of the highest honors at Temple is decided by players, coaches, and administration, those in academics, or those in, whatever it might be off the field, as there's an injured player down. I think that is Jordan Vandenberg. Let's see what happened to him. Well, he came in and laid a big hit, and then he's the one that's shaken up. So we'll take a timeout. Saturday, presented by Marco's Pizza. Order your Marco's Pizza today. And by Royal Caribbean. Come seek. How about the career he had? Still looks good, doesn't he?
Man, he looks great.
I mean, he looks fantastic.
What's going on at Temple? What are they drinking over there, man? Everybody looking healthy.
Played in the NFL for the Chiefs, the Lions, and the Dallas Cowboys. Bermudez. He was the 19th pick overall in the first round in 1987. Was runner-up for the Heisman Trophy in '86 to Vinny Testaverde. How about the first four names here? Nothing against Gordy Lockbaugh. But, I mean, Testaverde, Palmer, Harbaugh, and Brian Bosworth.
The boss. How about Gordy up there for Holy Cross up there?
Yeah.
All right, they're going for a fourth down here, Tommy. Let's do this.
Here we go. Quarterback going to keep it, and I think he got there. Good enough for a first down. We're talking about Palmer. He played under Bruce Arians there. His freshman year, he really struggled. But it was a game against Boston College. It was his breakout game. Wound up running for 1,500 yards as a junior. Almost 2,000. That's a first down.
Yeah, there's no question that's a first down.
Well, I mean, now that I look, maybe I spoke too soon. I mean, it was marked. We have to take a look at that again.
The judge on the...
And, I mean, I think that's what Keeler's saying. He said, are you kidding me? That is a spot? And he didn't get it.
The ref on Keeler's side gave a horrendous spot on that right there.
Didn't get it. I mean, K.C. Keeler cannot believe it. He's saying, look at the scoreboard. The replay board. No way. Of course, they mark it if the knee comes down first, so let's take a look. It's hard to tell. A lot of bodies in there.
First and 10 from the 39.
Ooh, I mean, it wasn't like his knee came down.
Right.
Came on his hip. But the ball, oh, well, doesn't matter now.
Move it, next play.
Move on.
Next play mentality.
Get a steady dose of running the football now. You a little surprised they didn't take a look at that?
I was extremely surprised because it wasn't that obvious. I thought the far side, the ref that's on Temple sideline gave a terrible spot. Like, he spotted it right where the knee was, but the knee didn't hit till later on.
Yeah, and the way he came down, the official on the far side would never have seen the football because he turned his body with his back to him. That was an early start. Blitz coming. Little too anxious.
Offside. Defense number 23. Unevading to the quarterback. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Ziel Powell.
A little too anxious.
Yeah, it's all right. Getting a little playing time here today.
Well, I mean, it's tough. You get your opportunity and then you false start there, off sides.
He's yelling at somebody over there. I don't know who he's yelling at. Malik Rutherford with a carry. That's his first carry of the year. Of course, he has thrown a pass. Oh, boy. I mean, Keeler letting him have it. He was screaming at somebody, screaming at the coach.
Yeah, he's like, it's my fault you jumped off sides?
Yeah.
Like, it's on you, man.
Must have been mad that he was taken right out of the game after the offsides penalty.
Yeah, I was always told one time when I went to the Seahawks, Coach Chris Rashad, defensive back coach.
Yep.
I remember I was upset the fact that I wasn't getting many opportunities, and he said, you got to do your best to don't count your reps, but make your reps count.
Wow.
So if you're in a situation where you're not getting many opportunities, well, you can't jump off sides. You can't have a penalty. You can't do this. You got to do all the things possible to make that rep count. So in that situation there, if he's not getting much player time, then you can't jump off sides like that.
Well, that's a great saying. It's Stockton, and then a late flag comes in. It might have been a face mask here, in addition to the catch.
Pass week number 7, Bailey Stockton.
Boy, that is a great line, though. Don't count your reps. Make your reps count.
Absolutely.
That's good.
Take full advantage. You never know.
Personal foul, grabbing the face mask, defense, number 13. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
That's Denzel Chavis. I don't know. I mean, he got his hand there as he was trying to reach around. Certainly didn't hold on.
Yeah, for us, it's easy in slow motion because I can say, like, hey, man, the hand came off. But they see the grab, they see the pull. Easy call for the refs.
All right, so an automatic first down and a little trickery here as they try the end around to Allen. Might see some of the extras start to come into the game for Georgia Tech, up by 21 here.
Yeah, Jordan Allen out of the legendary Buford High School here in Georgia. Right now, I think they're ranked 11 in the country. They got a beautiful jumbotron. I saw a video of that. That thing is unreal.
Really? Yes. They love that football here in Georgia
yes,
now. And now Haynes King with the ball, and he is chopped down at the 15-yard line.
I'll tell you what, they've been hitting that man today.
Yeah, they have.
Okay. He hasn't been running much, but when he has, they've been doing their justice.
I tell you what, AAC is a good conference, but I think Temple is gonna make a mark this year. They've got some nice players on this team.
Yeah, they got a battle. We had South Florida last week, who did a great job.
Yep.
The first 2 games, despite that tough loss last week.
And what, you still have Memphis in there, right?
Correct.
Tulane is in there, another good team.
Exactly, yeah, Tulane.
Yep. Jamal Haynes, and he will be denied first down yardage. That was a 3rd down and 3, and he didn't get there. And out comes the field goal unit for the Yellow Jackets with 9:15 to go in the game.
Yeah, great job tackling there and getting him down. He's been making them pay all game long, but finally.
Well, this was the man last week. Think he had a good night Saturday night? Aiden Burr. Man, 55-yarder, game winner. That tied a school record. And look at this. He just does sneak that one in from 31 yards out. 32 officially.
Automatic first down.
That's Denzel Chavis. I don't know. I mean, he got his hand there as he was trying to reach around. Certainly didn't hold on.
Yeah, for us, it's easy in slow motion because I can say, like, hey, man, the hand came off. But they see the grab, they see the pull. Easy call for the refs.
All right, so an automatic first down and a little trickery here as they try the end around to Allen. Might see some of the extras start to come into the game for Georgia Tech, up by 21 here.
Yeah, Jordan Allen out of the legendary Buford High School here in Georgia. Right now, I think they're ranked 11 in the country. They They got a beautiful jumbotron. I saw a video of that. That thing is unreal.
Really?
Yes.
They love that football here in Georgia now. And now Haynes King with the ball, and he is chopped down at the 15-yard line.
I'll tell you what, they've been hitting that man today.
Yeah, they have.
Okay. He hasn't been running much, but when he has, they've been doing their justice.
I tell you what, AAC is a good conference, but I think Temple is gonna make a mark this year. They've got some nice players on this team.
Yeah, they got a battle. We had South Florida last week, who did a great job.
Yep.
The first 2 games, despite that tough loss last week.
And what, you still have Memphis in there, right?
Correct.
Tulane is in there, another good team.
Exactly, yeah, Tulane.
Yep. Jamal Haynes, and he will be denied first down yardage. That was a 3rd down and 3, and he didn't get there. And out comes the field goal unit for the Yellow Jackets with 9:15 to go in the game.
Yeah, great job tackling there and getting him down. He's been making them pay all game long, but finally.
Well, this was the man last week. Think he had a good night Saturday night? Aiden Burr. Man, 55-yarder, game winner. That tied a school record. And look at this. He just sneak that one in from 31 yards out. 32 officially.
What else would it be other than Jamal Haynes? He's been absolutely electric on the ground, in the air, receiving. He's your typical prototypical running back that you want at the next level. You think of Alvin Kamara, you think of Christian McCaffrey. Going way back, you think Marshall Faulk and Brian Westbrook. He is the absolute perfect complementary running back.
All righty, so Temple will get the football trailing 38-14. 8:50 to go. And let's send it back to the guys in our studio.
All right, Tom, got a CW studio update. Duke on top of NC State, 38-33. Anderson Castle pouring it on. A 66-yard touchdown run. He had 3 TDs in this game. Duke wins 45-33. That's the most points scored in the Manny Diaz era. The Wolfpack 4 costly turnovers in this one, Tom.
All right, Yammer, thank you very much. 38-14. Temple blown out of the gym last week in Oklahoma. And they have hung in there here today, thanks in large part to that right there, the running of their quarterback, Simon.
Yeah, I mean, Georgia Tech defensively, they're thinking like, look, if you're going to run with your quarterback all game long, then we'll take that. We don't want you hurting us what Bumet we don't want you hurting with your running back. If you're the quarterback and you're going to be Evan Simon and you're going to run, then hey. But you see the comparison right there. We're thinking Haynes Kings will have those stats over there, whatever Simon's having. Right now, it's Evan Simon running the ball most as a quarterback.
Tucker and Worthy both in the backfield for Temple. And quarterback looking around and just throws it into the turf under heavy pressure once again. It'll bring up a 3rd down for the Owls.
Yeah, we talked about Coach Keeler about he does a great job with chemistry and culture, all these things. He even has a leadership council that he consults with during the season and in the offseason. But you've seen a lot of things uncharacteristic-wise with this team. You've seen a lot of penalties. You see arguments on the sideline. You see stuff like that that's going on. So they're going to have a heart-to-heart, after this game in terms of, man, how can we get back on track? But still got 8 minutes left.
Going to throw it on 3rd down. And they lay it off out of the backfield. And what a tackle in open space. Depending on his spot, he looked to be short. What a play that was by Javier Morton. Free safety. Is that him, 15? Yeah.
Yeah, just a great
excellent play.
Tackle, run your feet. Textbook.
So 4th down, they're going to go ahead and go for it. 4th down and a yard. Imagine the quarterback. Well, he's going to hand it off, and it is a 1st down. Dunker, and he's off to the races. Cross midfield, inside the 35, the 30, down to the 23-yard line. Biggest run of the day.
Yeah, the Dog Walker watch list. Jay Ducker just gets off the field. He's still playing today, right? He's still excited. He's still making plays. I mean, you just continue to run your offense here. You know, still, I mean, you got 6 minutes on the clock, but still, just play football, get offense, try to get points.
Well, they'll keep it on the ground. Very short gain there.
Yeah, no need to try to play desperate here and cause another mistake. Just play football, run your offense. Get back to your wide screens, get back to your inside zones, outside zones.
And I had said a minute ago, number 15 making the open field tackle. That was Tajay Butler, number 15 for Georgia Tech. I had flipped the board over to the other side there. Well done by Butler, sophomore out of New Orleans, Louisiana. Looking to throw. Simon looking around, going to heave it to the end zone and just throws it away. 3rd down and 10. I mean, Keeler knows what it's all about, putting together a winning program. He's done it in 3 different places. So, you know, some of the things you alluded to a minute ago, they will get cleaned up.
Yeah.
And it's a matter of who's going to hang around and who's not. Down at 10. They give it to Ducker. And he is stood up right there by Melvin Jordan IV. We saw him a year ago at Oregon State. He had a really good year for them. Did Jordan, number 0. He's from St. Petersburg, Florida, so he got a lot closer to home.
We put a lot of miles on that flight miles cards. But yeah, he's compact and he brings the thunder when he hits.
I thought that he would end up playing significant minutes at a school outside of Oregon State after everything happened around the Pac-12. Of course, we still carry many of their games right here on the CW. This will be a 41-yard field goal try by Harden, and it is right down the middle. Good. That makes it 38-17, 5:25 to go from Atlanta. Wonder how that sounds. It sounds good to you. Sounds good to me. How about the big man down along the sideline?
Man, yeah, man, pizza always sounds good. You can never turn that down. I'm like a Ninja Turtle, man. The more pizza, the better.
Trying the onside kick recovered by Georgia Tech, and they're going to bring in a new quarterback. We'll get to him in a minute. But for those of you tuning in for the PBR Team Series bull riding from Belmont Park, New York, coverage will begin on the CW app and CWTV.com at 8 o'clock Eastern, so in about a minute from now. And then we'll pick it up here on the CW network at the conclusion of our game. How about this young man? Aaron Philo out of Bogart, Georgia. He is the all-time leader in the history of Georgia high school football for passing yards. He broke Trevor Lawrence's record.
That's incredible.
13,922 yards. And he hands it off naturally. Gordon on the first play. He touches the ball, goes the distance. 47 yards.
He said, look, I'm going to get mine too now, okay? You can't let y'all have all the fun.
Dalen Gordon, only 1 carry this entire season, only 2 rushing attempts in his first 3 years. And how about that? Goes to the house.
Let's go, Jackie!
Good for him. Guy busts his tail in practice every single day. Redshirt senior. He's been stuck behind Haynes, and now they bring in Hosley. He doesn't get it, he's ahead of him. So too is the sophomore Traylon Maddox, who's been hurt.
I mean, if you look, he looks just like Haynes on this run right here. Gets up the field, makes a great move, and just, I mean, here's the thing. We call this here, we call it fresh legs. He comes off the bench with fresh legs.
Credit card from Wells Fargo. How about this young man?
Yeah, Dalen Gordon, senior, graduated in May. One of the guys you mentioned who was on the academic honor roll. Got up the field showing his burst that he shows on special teams as well.
That's brought to you by the Wells Fargo Active Cash Credit Card. Be a 2%er. Earn unlimited 2% cash rewards on purchases. Terms apply. And again, to repeat in case you missed it about Dalen Gordon. He had 2 rushing attempts his first 3 years here at Georgia Tech. 2 of them. He's carried the ball 1 time this year. So a total of 3 rush attempts in almost 4 years until that carry.
That one gotta feel good.
Yes, indeed. It's good stuff. Down to 1:35. He's going to keep it on the ground. And then bouncing it to the outside is Hunter Smith. So a couple of more plays and you can tie a ribbon around this one. Georgia Tech, at the end of the day, we know about Miami. There are a lot of other teams in the ACC that maybe are less heralded than, say, the Clemsons and the Miamis of the world and that kind of thing. Georgia Tech is ranked. But you have unbeaten teams, like Louisville. I mean, nobody's talking about them very much, and that's generally a good program each and every year.
Well, we saw what Syracuse did today.
That's exactly right. Syracuse just dismantled the Clemson Tigers today. I mean, that really wasn't even a close game today. Clemson turned the ball over 3 times, 2 fumbles and an interception.
Yeah, he took full advantage, full-on beatdown.
Temple calling a timeout. 44 seconds left.
Duke is on the schedule. They're always a tough team.
Yeah, I mean,
NC State today.
NC State was undefeated. And
45-33.
Yeah, Duke got them. We'll see NC State next week. Well, I know Coach Dorn will be in a splendid mood by the time we show up there on Friday.
My former coach, Tom O'Brien at BC, coached at NC State.
Yep. How about Billy O'Brien? How's he doing up there at Boston College?
Billy's awesome, man. He's the exact man that Boston College needs. From there, grew up there. Wife went to school at BC.
Yep.
Son plays baseball at Tufts. Yeah, he's just doing a great job up there. Tough loss against Stanford.
Yeah, he is a great guy. We just so much enjoyed spending time around him his first year in the conference last year. And it looks like they got enough for a first down. Big hit late on the receiver there, but it will be a first down. They'll stop the clock to reset the ball. Temple hurries back up to the line of scrimmage, and then they'll fire up the clock, and there it goes. Down to the final 34 seconds. Giovanni McCoy completes a pass, but staying in bounds. Are they going to spend another timeout? I think they are. And you see Casey Keeler out there still saying, hey, we got to keep playing. Got to keep playing.
Yeah, again, I mentioned earlier, this is a situation where your backups, you want to get reps. You want to get stuff on tape because there's a lot of things that he saw probably from both sides of the football where, like, hey, maybe there's places in certain situations or positions where there's competition. So, hey, let's get some stuff on film as we are still evaluating.
Yeah. Believe me when I tell you, you just go back and look at that man's track record. It will not be long before Temple will be proud of its football program again. And, I mean, don't take it from me. When you bring up this guy's name and his track record to Brent Key,
yes,
and Gideon, their defensive coordinator, right? And, the other coaches we talked to, Coach Faulkner, the offensive coordinator at Georgia Tech. These are the coaches on the other team.
Right. Coach Key mentioned, he said, I'm going to come up to him after the game just to talk to him because I want to get some of his wisdom.
Yep. This is complete. And if it's enough for a first down, they're going to spend another timeout. No, they're going to reset the ball. And it was a first down. So they'll go ahead and fire up the clock down to the final 20 seconds. Temple does have one more timeout remaining and might spend it here. Yep, they're going to spend their final timeout right here with 13 seconds left to go. Or are they? No, they're saying incomplete pass. I'm sorry. Well, I mean, they're still playing over there. They're running in different position players.
Well, looks like this is the message he's trying to send to the team. It's like, look, man, we're going to play a full 60 minutes.
Yeah.
You know, despite, the game is out of reach, but listen, we're going to continue to play. Let's continue to play football, get these reps in. Now, the people here in Atlanta are like, look, man, we got traffic. We're trying to beat here. But for this team, I mean, let them know, never quit.
I want to thank Scott Snyder, our producer, Atlanta's very own Lonnie Dale, our director. Across the middle and incomplete. Clock stops with 8 seconds left. And a penalty flag is going to put the ball 15 yards down the field. So that would put it at the 4-yard line if this is pass interference. Officials are still calling it 2 down to the last 8 seconds.
They said, look, if y'all going to keep playing, we're going to keep reffing.
Pass interference. Defense number 36. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
I mean, sure. He ran to his area. The receiver ran to him. I mean, the ref saw something enough to throw the flag.
All right, so first and goal. 8 seconds left. Giovanni McCoy in relief is taking his team down the field, trying to get him into the end zone. And he's rolling, looking, and it is a touchdown pass into the end zone. Xavier Irvin with the touchdown. And for Giovanni McCoy, the 50th career touchdown pass he's had, spanning 3 different schools: Idaho, Oregon State, and now Temple.
Yeah, despite the situation, that was a good drive for that offense.
Very good. So now the point after, and then we will have a kickoff. And the point after is good. So a nice job by Giovanni McCoy. So for both teams, some of the guys coming off the bench and doing well. And Xavier Irvin, he's a junior.
Speedy receiver who can stretch the field. Great job finding the soft zone, sitting down to give Giovanni a great target.
And by the way, a moment ago we talked about Dalen Gordon, his first career rushing touchdown. That was the first career touchdown for Xavier Irvin, and this is his 3rd year. He did not have a single, so he had 6 career receptions over his first 2 years, but never a touchdown until now. He'll never forget that as long as he lives.
You see Everett Rivers back there with no gloves. Knowing the game is over.
I'd imagine we'll just see a squib kick here rather than booming this thing out of the end zone. Yep. And as soon as he picks it up, that's going to do it. Until he took, they're going to run off the last second, or they're going to run another play. I mean, all the guy had to do was pick up the ball and just run. He could have run to his other end zone. But offense will huddle up, as will the defense. And Brett Key is like, you got to be kidding. That's the little things you got to know.
Yeah, that got to be communicated. They could say all they want. The thing is, did they actually communicate that to him? Let him know, like, hey, run it out a little bit.
So this will be the final play of the game. Is he going to do it again? Penalty flag comes down. It's the same cat running down the sideline. But a penalty flag is down. If it's holding, the game is over.
Flag on the play.
Yep, that's it. They'll decline the penalty, and that's the game.
Holding. Offense number 88. Penalties declined. Game's over.
Final score 45-24 for Will Blackman, Wes Bryant, our entire crew. Tom Brenneman, thanks for watching. Off to Belmont Park, New York for the PBR Team Series. Good night from Atlanta.